I know. Stop it, Steve-O. Just stop it. What am I doing today, boys and girls? Actually, I went to Lowe's the other day and I saw these things. I've been using these for a couple of years now and I like them. They're just those, you know, they're got 45s cut on the ends here. They're for, you know, your decking and your little, you know, with your handrails, and these are the little verticals that go in between. They're PT, they got them smoothed off here. That's just, I mean, you could take a 2x4 and just split it if you want to. And the reason I use these here in Florida is, for fact, well, they're PT, number one, so they're weather resistant. And I cut them 16 inches long, and the reason I cut them 16 inch long, they go on top of my concrete blocks. But I've got my chop saw set up. I got the fence set at 16 inches because that's the length of a concrete block. So I'll zip off this little piece here. I'll get 2 16ths, and then I'll get some short pieces. I'll set a fence up here. I'll set some scab wood in here, so with a stop here bumping against this here to chop some. You want some accurate cuts on this. You want 2-inch blocks. They're going to go inside. They're going to get silicone inside of my cat food cans. Here's a bunch of cat food cans. Martin's wife, she gave me a bunch of cans. She saves them. She saves them, and yeah, so they're nice cans. And what I will do is take my little 2-inch high blocks, which is higher than this can, you see, and I'll put a dab of silicone right down here in the bottom, and then stick that block in there, push it down, let it set for 24, and then it's ready to go. These are your ant moats. And because we got to protect our baby girls, right? We have to protect our baby girls. These ants will chew up everything in Florida, ruin your hives, everything. So it's not that big a deal to set this up. I'll show you how I do it. Actually, this came from Martin. And you know, we got to take care of our baby girls. Speaking of baby girls, let me ask you a question, guys. I've been thinking about this, and you might want to leave a comment below as to what you're thinking. But do deaf girls, now when you have a deaf girl, when she masturbates with one hand, does she moan? Does she moan with the other hand? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I think about these things sometimes, you know. But let's stop that, guys. Let's stop that. Move on. Yeah, so I will. The reason I like this skinnier wood here. Look at this thing bow. Look how bow diddly that is. Oh, that's a real beauty, huh? Yeah, but we don't care for our application. And then what I'll do is take a 1/4-inch bit and I'll drill a hole there and a hole there, and that way my pipe will go in here. Right now, you can do this with 4x4s or landscape timbers. They're PT, but the beauty of these are, you see, let me show you the beauty of this. There is beauty in some of the things I do, okay? But Miss Daisy don't think too much of that. But anyway, but see this, see what happens, what you got here? That little 2x2's, it's going to be glued in here, right? And this is going to sit on top of this. Well, it's the same size. So now you got plenty of room to add your oil. And then once you get your oil added, all you got to do is lift this up. Your pipe rails are coming across here, right? Your pipe rails are coming across here, and all you do is lift this up and slide your 5x5 flashing material, and now you got a rain hat. Speaking of flashing material, look at Steve-O's got here. I completely sealed it with silicone along the bottom, top, sides, corners, all that. Actually, I had a crack running through there, and Argentina ants were crawling in and out of that crack along there. Whoever poured this driveway should have, I would have liked to kick them in the balls back in the day, but the person had left, you know, they're no longer. I poured that little slab there because I had to add that much concrete to this building, guys, from there over to here. Extend it. I had to extend this slab to fit this building on it. There were certain specs that I had to have. So my driveway ended, or my slab floor actually didn't go clear there. It came to about right here, and I had to add this piece. And what I did, every foot I drilled in with a hammer drill into the existing slab, and I stuck cantilevered rebar out here, cantilevered rebar, and then I ran 2 rebar. I epoxied them into the slab. Then I ran 2 all the way down the full length of this, tie wired it in, and then I poured that additional piece to fit this building on it. Also, after this concrete, see, I put silicone here, all along here, because it formed a hairline crack. And I had some cracks in the slabs there a little bit. I put that silicone on and completely locked it up. I may even come in with silicone here, blow this out with an air hose, and silicone this to keep anything from continually fracturing. So yeah, Miss Daisy said, "You're gonna paint that flashing?" I said, "I don't know. I think it looks fine the way it is. What do you guys think?" Don't get on Miss Daisy's side, guys. Stay on my side, will you please? A lot of girls out there say, "We're going with Miss Daisy. Paint the damn thing." But anyway, I'm not going to paint it. I got the letters on. I completely sealed the structure all the way. Every seam on here. Every seam here. Caulked at the top, sides, everywhere. And this worked out fairly well. I painted this last with a little 4-inch foam roller. Yes. And I had splices here also. When you're building this building, you're gonna have splices, so we had to match the lines, of course. But before we shoved this piece of wood in, I put silicone on that seam and then pushed it in to seal that before. That didn't happen on the last run, and I had some issues here with water infiltration. So anyway, we're pretty good shape now. The door opens really sweet now. Yeah, it's a sweetie. They make a special grout too in a caulk gun, and I loaded the bottom of that threshold with it. So there she is. She's all sealed up. Let's hope we can get more than 25 years out of this thing. Yeah, because you know I'm going to be around a long time, guys. I'm going to be here to pester the crap out of you for another 100 years. I'm 75 now, and the man upstairs told me that I can have a total. He gave me a total number of 175. So I've got another 100 to go. So I'd pass that on to you. You know, and you won't really know. You won't have a clue if I make it to 175 if you're not right here with me on a carnivore diet. But if you're following my footsteps, see, there's a very good chance, especially if you're a little younger than I am. Say you're around 30 years old. Hey, you'll be able to live long enough to see him put me in the ground. Okay, just think about that one. Yeah, think about that one. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, baby. Let me show you something here. I'm shutting the fan off. I got reprimanded on the last video. This is something else I want to build now. Yeah, Martin's kind of a genius here, I'm telling you. He's kind of a genius here. Hang on a second. Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull up some wonderful information for you here. My phone doesn't recognize me with my goggles on. All right, I want you to look at this video here real quick. I was over at Martin's getting those cat food cans, and let me show you this little trick here. Okay, guys, check it out. This is a Martin feeder bucket. The girls are loving it. There's 6 to 1 in here. You said you put 4? 4 pounds. There's 4 pounds of sugar in here to that 5. But I want you to see something, guys. Notice down here the ant moats. See that? Look also closely. You see them? By the thousands. Freaking Argentine ants. One more major Florida problem we have here. But I like his setup. He gave me permission to do a video. He's got a garbage can lid, a little pine straw. You don't lose nothing, guys.
That way if it leaks.
Yeah, if it leaks a little, like you said, it leaks a little bit, no material lost. How cool. Guess what, guys? Martin is a genius. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna go down and get. I like the idea of that because the bucket's red. I don't know if bees can see red or not, but I think it'll be a little enhancement thingy there. Yeah. So I've got to build one of those, and it's kind of nice. You got 5 gallons, guys. Let the bees have at her, right? All of his boxes are really pumping up over there, which is really nice. He's given me permission to put some toward like probably beginning to end of February. He's got 10 frame equipment there, and what I'm going to do is go down and get plywood, and I'm going to cut a piece the exact size of the 10. Then I'm going to take one of my Beefy 5 Supers now, Beefy 5 Supers, stick it on there, and then trace the inside of that super right on the box. Then I've got the layout. I've got the size of the 10 frame, right, for a lid. I'm going to use 3/4. I'm going to put my Beefy on top, draw it out with a pencil, get a lumber pencil and mark it out, drill a hole in each corner, drop my saber saw in, and zip, zip, zip. Now I've got it inside dimension. We can set that lid on, set that box on, put frames on it, and then I move up into that, saturate the inside of that box, put the feed to them, and I'll donate some sugar so we can keep them pumped up over there. And we can draw off some bees from that, because you don't want to take that many back to Michigan. Anyway, he's going back end of April, so that'll work out perfect because our bug season starts end of February. They're starting to draw peanuts. Any strong hive you got down here in Florida, if you've got anything around, because those maples start popping here. And man, they're supercharged, guys. They start rocking and rolling, especially if you're throwing food out there. If you're feeding these bees like we're going to be feeding them, it cranks them up. And you know, be vigilant down here, because if you're not, you're going to have $100 bees just flying off into the freaking wilderness, just wasting money. So if you're going to spend money on sugar, get set up like this and start pulling off them surplus bees. Get them out of there. Make some money with this stuff wherever you can. So that's how we're going to make bees. And so here I'm at here today, base camp, just making more ant moats. I'm rigging up another rail. I want to have all this stuff. I like to do things in batches. and get a lot of material sitting there ready to go. Don't fart ass around and wait till last minute and say, oh, I need something, and now you're hustling like crazy. Winter time's the best time to start building up all your supplies for the upcoming season. I don't have access to this stuff anymore like I used to. Back in the day when I was doing construction work, let me show you something here. Let me move this ladder over. This is called, I'm gonna chop up a bunch of that. I picked up 4 the other day. I picked up 4 of these the other day. So I'm gonna butcher those here shortly. But what I want to show you is this thing. They call it a strut. If you guys know electrician, whatever, this is excellent right here. That's called a strut. Electricians use these. So if you know, see, I was around when I was in construction business. I was doing underground pipeline. But guess what? They were running up structures right beside me. Yeah, I got cranes swinging over my freaking. Yeah, here I am in the ground, right, and an open trench, and these guys are slinging iron and steel and lumber and you name it over my head, building a building. But what they use these for, amongst many things, is bolting to walls and putting their panels on here. They're electrical panels. Because you got all these variant holes that you could use. And this stuff, I think, comes in 10-foot sections. This also, I found out, works excellent. You can take and put, see this, you've got this channel. You can take a 4x4, guys, and drop it in the ground deep, and then bolt this thing to the 4x4 upright, like so. Put another one over here where you got the socket, and run a piece of 3/4 plywood down there and make a guillotine door for your wild hog trap. How sweet. I built several, guys. Caught the heck out of wild hogs utilizing those struts. But those struts will make excellent beehive stands. Yes, indeed. And you can put that flat portion right on top of your 16-inch block here, you see, and you set your beehive. These are extremely strong, as you can see. These things are heavy duty. So if you're in the construction business, know somebody in the construction business that's around this type of material. You would not believe, guys, how much of this iron is thrown in a huge dumpster at the end of the deal. They buy so much material. They buy so much material and waste it on job sites. It's like almost like a government job, you know, like a Joe Biden, say a military complex or something. There is literally tons of stuff like this thrown away. Hey, be resourceful. Grab some of that stuff. Heck yeah. If you know an electrician that's doing heavy duty construction work and electrical and large buildings and whatnot, tell them, say, hey, I'm a beekeeper, I need that strut, give me some strut. Heck yeah, buy him a case of beer or whatever, get that stuff. All right, that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm just chopping up these. I'll buzz cut this here. I'll measure. I got my fence already set for 16. Boom, I'll cut. I can get 2 of those. So that's 1 stand, because you only need 2 per stand. So yeah. So I got 4 stands here, and I put it on 8-foot rails so you can get like 5 hives to the deal. So yeah, you just keep this stuff, chop it up, get it on, make up your ant moats. If you're in Florida, put all your bees on ant moats. I hear so many crying towel stories. Oh, the carpenter ants took out all my hives. Stop it. Just stop it, guys. Yeah. Now listen, the ant moats, it's like everything else. It's a maintenance thing. About every 6 months, I'm gonna guess. What happens, the ants, they do teeter-totter and fall into the oil. I usually use transmission fluid. You use motor oil. If you get used motor oil, you got a mechanic, say, hey, give me some used motor oil. Again, buy him a case of beer, whatever. Get your used motor oil, and any kind of oil, put it in 5s, and then you can transfer it to the field with little 1 gallon or little small jugs to where you can fill these. But every 6 months, these things go out of commission for the simple fact that occasional bee will fall in there, and then you got ants falling in there, and after a while, them dead bodies will float up and rot and float up, and then the ants will bridge. They'll bridge over, crawl up in, and now you're in your hive. You'll see them on the rail. You'll see them on the rail. Well, you see them, and you say, oh, they're on the rail. They're on the rail. They're bridging the moats. All right? So be vigilant there. As soon as you see them, no biggie. Take the hives and set them down. If they're in doubles, no biggie. Take the top section off, stand it up on edge. Take the bottom portion of your hive, set it down. Have extra moat cans. What I'll do if I see bridging, if I have clean moat cans, and I've got oil on board, no biggie. I can just change out one at a time. If you're strong enough, you can pick up one corner, have a moat can ready, slide it right under without the flashing, right? Slide it under on all 4 points. Add the oil, fresh oil, just lift it up, throw the dirty one on the ground, slide the new one in, oil each one, go around, slide your flashings in. Hey, done. Take the nasty ones, and get ready for this. It smells like a dead horse. Those moat cans, and don't get that oil on you and that rotten stuff, because it will stay with you like a skunk. Yeah, just a little heads up from Steve-O. That stuff is nasty in them cans. But I just take them back here, and I take a little stick, and I go around in that oil. It's kind of ooey gooey, and I sling it, and I'll throw it out. And I put it in a bucket. You can rinse them out or bleach them if you want to, but to get the stink, because they're nasty. Trust me, they're nasty. And then you can get ready and use them. You don't want to put them in the cab of your truck, these nasty smelling cans. No. Your girlfriend will kick your ass. Okay, so just, how do I know that? Well, I don't have a girlfriend, but I got Miss Daisy. She's not going to put up with any smell like that. So just, you know what I'm saying? Then you can reuse those. Those things, this PT wood right here, guys, even though it's submerged and swimming in oil and has nasty bugs and all, that lasts a long time. I've had some of these stupid things for years, and the wood don't seem to rot. So anyway, all right, let's get going here, and I need to get to the field and install one of these. And I've got my swarm trap there. I'm thinking about making I may make a couple, because we're only looking at like 4 pounds of sugar per pail. Martin said it's working out great. He's putting in 4 pounds of sugar to 5 gallons of agua. Hey, that's pretty cheap. I can get 4 pounds over here at this Aldi's for $2.69. Well, that's 5 gallons of friggin' feed, guys. That's a lot of juice. Now, how long does it take? Hey, the way they're hitting this jar down here, John told me when I put that jar out down here, he texted me a picture. He said they found it. Well, I knew they found it because I saw a bee landing there. It was all that dribbled sugar water I put on the top of that swarm trap, right? He had a bee on. I said, John, no time at all. He's going to go back and tell his buddies where this stuff's at. He wouldn't. I don't even think it was a half hour. John texted me a picture of the bees were all over that freaking bottle that I put there. and it was gone. John said, he texted me back, it's gone. Before the sunset, guys, they sucked that quart jar down. So what I'm thinking, I will take a Martin feeder setup, 5 gallon. I've seen Barnyard Bee guy do this thing, same thing. He does it. There are quite a few doing it. And I'm gonna go get the Harbor Freight bucket. I may pick up a couple of them, make up 2 feeder buckets, and set them out. I'll put one here at base camp, and I'll put one out there by the swarm trap. Make up another one. I might even get frisky, guys, and make up 3 or 4 of them. I don't know yet. And set them out so we can try to catch some swarms. So there's projects here I got to get going on, and I can't do it if I'm sitting here talking to you all day long. So God bless you for stopping in to base camp, and get out there and start getting some of these projects done, because hey, there's so many hours in a day, guys, and we're not in Alaska, so you know we have lots of daylight. So let's get her done. I'll see you real soon. Be happy, be strong, and we'll keep getting it on with the Republican Trump party. It's going to be a party in 2025. Let's get her done. See ya.